You're awake.
So
You did.
I know! I'm gonna fucking die because of Vigil. What the fuck?
And
Vigil, the party killer.
you hear the normal voice of Matrona back. I'm already awake. What is it, she-elf?
I apologize, Matrona. Aaron sent me. It's an emergency with Vigil. I followed him into the woods because I couldn't find him for 2 days, and he had begun to pray to Asmodeus. I tried to stop when it was overcome with.
You can actually hear his eyes roll. Like, you can't see him, but you can hear him rolling his eyes right now.
Right.
You don't know how that's possible, but it definitely happens.
Okay.
God.
Like
damn
I
it.
was overcome.
Does
with
a hand all of the sudden
like,
come up to the face, like
complete
just
dread as Vigil was consumed in flames for a moment. I don't know what happened as I was compelled to just flee.
You don't hear anything for a second, and you hear
And
some...
also, by the way, what does my armor do?
No, not at.
Oh, by the way, I got this. I
Armor.
heard Kelly got it for you. I mean, I know it's not the exact right time, but I'll just leave it here, and when you come back, take a look at it.
At your leisure, when you got time.
Yeah, whatever. Not right now. That'd be weird.
Not doing that.
Yeah.
Not in a hurry,
So
but
you don't-
just take a look at it.
You
Again,
don't
there's
hear anything
also
for a
this, like,
second.
fear in Lemuria's voice, not just because of Matrona, but just she's never felt that, like not even like the Howler.
Yeah, no,
like-
that thing fucked you up like way worse than the Howler ever even remotely did. You don't hear anything for a couple seconds, and then you hear the banging of his staff coming down the steps, and he says, "Where's Aaron?"
He was getting his armor on in the temple.
Okay, puts his shroud up. Where did this all take place? His
So
eyes
I-
start glowing again.
Right, the exact place, like out past this field, then kind of north towards the tree line. I'm trying to describe it as best detail as I can.
You notice that there's a raven sitting on his shoulder at this point, which I don't know if
hardly-
you've ever seen before.
I don't think so.
And he says, "Okay, stay. Don't touch. You can touch things, sit somewhere, but don't fuck with stuff. Just stay here. Back in like 10 minutes."
Okay.
Can I read a nice book?
So I'm gonna sit down and
There is so much cool shit, by the way. Like, you're not really a magic-y dude, but there's so much cool shit in this fucking room.
Roll for temptation.
here's the thing, right? Like right now, I'm actually gonna tell you exactly what Mary does. Like she actually sits down at the closest chair, and she doesn't she feels helpless, as one of her friends is. What the fuck's going on? She has no idea, and so in a last-ditch effort, she actually begins to pray to Gazra
Okay, dope shit.
to help Vigil.
That's probably a good prayer right now. Didn't pan out well, though. Okay.
Ah, damn it!
Literally got
Dude,
just smashed
man.
Vigil.
It's new. Come on.
Yeah, I mean...
The first actual prayer to a god she has ever said. In her
Yeah,
life.
I mean, it wasn't a great one, and Gazra's kind of a dick, so, it didn't go... I mean, you don't know. You've never done this whole pray thing.
Books start flying and shit falls over to the ground and Matrona thinks you did it. You're dead.
So
Bye.
he waves the door
See
closed,
you in a couple weeks.
and then he pulls out a dagger and carves into the literally air in front of you, and a fucking portal opens up, and he walks through it and closes behind him.
Okay.
Vigil. Or Fear, whatever the fuck your name is now. You're hanging out in the woods, fucking with shit. Roll me a perception check. I feel like you're a little
He's
bit
just
zoned out.
wandering around right now in the forest, so he's not where he was now, but yeah, he's definitely close.
You would have at least 20 minutes now of after.
17.
Yeah, you hear the clunking of a staff coming through the woods. Then you hear Matrona screaming, "Dwarf!" After a couple seconds, you hear a very lazy dwarf. "Where are you? What are you doing out here?"
I walk up to him. I start heading towards where the voice is coming from. I don't say anything.
You come around a corner and you see Matrona standing in a relative clearing. Kind of eyes you. You see the purple eyes kind of close a little bit and look at you. And say, "What do we have here, dwarf?"
Is he standing in front of the symbol I drew on the ground?
Yeah.
It is just a symbol. A symbol to a very powerful, powerful being.
And he's kind of looking around for a second. He says, "Yeah, there's quite a lot of power has been brought around here lately." What have you been up to out here in these woods? He kind of leans up against a tree. And you can see him kind of reaching for the blade on his belt. Aaron doesn't really... I mean, I'm not the religious type, but Aaron doesn't really like this shit. You might want to cover this up.
We have been finding ourselves. Vigil was insufficient. We have become something more.
It's his exact response. Well, you're going to be nearly nothing if you don't get this shit covered up. And you might want to start heading out of town, or heading somewhere, because if Aaron finds you, he's going to crush you with that big hammer of his.
I thought it was gone. Like, I thought the symbol was gone.
It's kind of faded. And even
It should
if
be nothing more than a burnt, like, thing on the ground, because spark doesn't,
a burnt thing on the ground with the aura of a god around it, which is an overwhelming... Literally, it's actually classified as overwhelming. It lasts for 1d8 days.
Okay.
So yeah, he definitely knows that it was... Even if the actual symbol is not on the ground, he's still
Vigil
standing
thought
exactly
very poorly of you. He once prayed to Gazra for you to come to harm. I found it quite interesting.
If gods could kill me, I would have died a long time ago, son. Now, like I said, I am not the most religious type. I don't care for the gods. The gods can do what they want. Aaron, on the other hand, takes this shit a little bit seriously. And if your elf friend is telling me the truth, she's already sent him out here. So he'll probably be rolling out here within the next 20 minutes or so on quite a large horse. Now, I would love to watch him smash you into a paste. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like Thaddeus would probably be upset with me if I just crushed you. So you have two options. I can leave you here and let him crush you. I'll be happy. Or I can send you back to Thaddeus, and you can be his problem, and he can try to figure out how to fix this.
Perhaps
Literal just this.
Thaddeus. I will speak with Thaddeus.
Okay. He pulls his dagger out again, walks up to you, carves a fucking hole in space itself in front of you. Says he'll be on the other side. He kind of gives you an extra special smile that you haven't really ever seen before from him.
You're much nicer now. I kind of like it, and I walk through the portal.
And he drops 10,000 feet. Rip.
That'd be awesome.
You walk through the
So-
portal, you're back in the other room.
The guild hall.
It's
Billnan,
Thaddeus.
Billnan, you were chilling. Yeah, Thaddeus is...
Trana.
You're literally in Thaddeus's room right now.
He's sleeping in the
You're-
corner.
you're actually
by the
in
way,
his bedroom.
Sobo, I left my tower shield in near that. Where I lit the fire to summon him.
So you find yourself in a rather large barn-looking thing, staring at like a 250-foot long silver dragon, like curled up in a corner, basically.
I like
Good
how
evening,
Ty and I had the same exact response there.
You see just like an eye the size of you just opens.
It's been a long time since I've seen you.
You hear a very, very deep growl, and
So I have a question.
Where is Thaddeus?
Go ahead,
Trana
Bert.
has
What's
sent
up?
me to speak with him.
Do any of them notice his symbol on his hand carved? Because she said
Well,
it was
it's
still
in my
there.
palm, and I have walking. I don't just like walk out like, hey.
Well,
Hey.
somebody might notice, but nobody's mentioned it directly yet.
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, it probably gives off an. I mean, I give off an aura of evil when I'm fear, like
yeah.
just as I give off an aura of good when I'm
And
vigilant.
a giant fucking, like, literally the archfiend just touched your hand. So there's a pretty good
Yeah.
chance that people that can detect evil are gonna be detecting some pretty motherfucking serious evil. So anyways, you hear a deep growl, and you said, "Where's Thaddeus? Matrona sent me."
Matrona has sent me to speak with Thaddeus. Do you know where he is?
After this growl just continues, and after 5 or 6 seconds, you see Thaddeus climbing up from behind one of the legs and coming towards you. No shirt on, ripped as fuck. Like, this dude is 2.5 Arnold Schwarzeneggers. Like, he's ridiculous. And he just kind of shirtless. He's got his great sword with him as always, but it's like, what's going on, Del? And he kind of comes around the corner and sees you standing there. He says, Vigil, what can I help you? What are you doing here?
We are Vigil no longer.
What?
We have been remade anew. Matrona sent me here because he wishes for you to remake me again. Apparently.
Oh, for the love of fuck. You bumped into
I
another
am
howler?
simply here to return a debt, and I put the light mace that I borrowed from the guild back on the ground in front of Del.
You can actually see Del's claws dig about 6 or 7 inches into the ground as you approach, by the way.
I thought it was just in front of him.
I mean, you can still see it.
I thought I
and
was
hear it.
right in front of him, so I was just like putting it down in front of me, in front of him. So,
No.
I mean, I'm not going to walk closer to him.
Oh, okay. Because
So
you're
I'm just going to put it down on the ground in front of me.
You can still see. I mean, his claws are literally like the size of you, so it's not that sneaky. You can hear the
Feel
ground
it.
crunching.
I'm assuming you can. I know not the capabilities of dragons, but I wouldn't be surprised.
And what's his face? Thaddeus just kind of like, he looks at you and he looks back at Down and he's like, what the fuck is going on here, guys? Vigil, did you guys bump into another howler or some shit? Like, what? I thought you guys were just killing
No.
goblins.
I found something much greater in the wild.
Oh, fuck me. What?
Has Dill still not said anything?
What did you do now? No, Del's
Growl.
still has not made any communication outwardly. What did you what
That's what
happened?
it has
What
to.
happened? Did Keiko fuck something up? What's
Keiko was
Oh, yeah.
dead.
Keiko's dead?
He died when Vigil could not protect them any longer.
Let me see something here. Hold on. I want to see what actually happens right now because good things are not happening for you.
Well, I mean, wouldn't Aaron have told him when he visited, or did he just like forget about that?
You didn't care that much.
We're not important enough, people.
I know we discovered the
we're
plant,
just
but
not.
you know,
It
fuck
actually
that
wasn't
shit.
that important.
And
to him.
Aaron didn't particularly like Keiko.
No.
Aaron tried dislike Keiko actually, so.
Did
Okay.
any of them like Keiko?
Not particularly. You see a cloud.
Kelly liked Keiko. You're lying. Kelly liked Keiko.
So you see what?
You see a cloud of icicles basically come out of out of Del's nostrils and kind of float over. And Thaddeus kind of looks at him again. And he says, "Seriously, Del, fucking relax, man. Everything's cool." What
He has his
happened?
rights. I'm assuming he can detect Asmodeus' touch.
Berg, what do you do? Asmodeus, why'd you kill Berg?
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Roll me a
Matrona
D100.
believes.
Roll me a D100.
Please.
Oh god. In before one.
28, no.
Oh, this is gonna be so
That's
much
bad.
fun.
We were hoping for that nat 100 where Del's like,
Yeah.
here, have superpowers.
Yeah, that was yeah. So first off, the first thing you see is the dragon jump. And when I say jump, I don't really mean jump. I mean he kind of gets on all fours in a microsecond, and then just you hear a huge explosion as like the entire barn around you just fucking flies off of this massive creature. And then you hear a dragon scream, which is probably the first time you've ever heard it. And I should normally make you make a will save, but the next thing happens pretty quickly.
Dragon fear. It's not fun. I can't save against dragon
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. Thaddeus fear's coming up.
Yeah.
So you see Thaddeus. He was kind of turned to look at Del, telling Del to shut the fuck up. And you say Asmodeus, and Del just like shits his pants and flies up into the sky. And Thaddeus just reaches onto his back and grabs his greatsword and like brings it down to his side and turns to you and says, "I need you to tell me exactly what's going on here." And you can kind of see the muscles on him rolling.
Just rippling like it's like
Vigil
fucker.
was not enough to save the party. His fear of his own failure was too much. He created me to deal with it. And I found us something in order to deal with it.
And that was